Okay. Hello everyone. I am actually a minute early, but it's better to be early than late. Hi Akshat, Zirar, Radha, Umang, Paridi. My God, we've already got people joining us. So happy to see you all. Hope you're all well, staying at home and staying safe. So as you all are aware, we have a really insightful, very interesting session lined up for today with one of my dearest friends, Luke Coutinho. All those who have joined us obviously know a lot about him, but let me get him online first, and then I'll do a nice intro. Let me just see to do this. I'm quite a techno spaz, guys. These are times when you really miss your team, but I have with his patience, so work doesn't cease. And as you are all aware, one second guys, while we get Luke online, I just have someone who's at the door. Second. Stay on. I'm here, and for some reason I'm not able to get in touch with Luke, but we're just going to see what's wrong. Actually, the network in Goa is pretty bad, so we're just trying to figure out. But while we're all here, may as well make the best of it. Yes, Preeti, Krishna.
Press join.
Luke, if you can hear me, I've already sent you a request, and please join in. So you know this is real. Oh, I can't. Oh my God. So
Luke has to send a request. Luke, send a request.
Well, that's my husband.
Send a request.
Well, I've sent the request.
Yeah, I know you have to wait for Luke to send a request.
Well, c'est la vie. We always plan things, but there's always something that's planned before what we have thought of. So yeah, this is also happening for the best. So Krishna, and also while I'm speaking and addressing important points today, if there are any points that you would like clarity on, please do send in your questions, and I will broach those topics. This is a great opportunity to learn about nutrition only from the best in the industry. Luke has a reputation that precedes him. He excels in the treatment of cancer. He's one of the top nutritionists of the country, and I feel so happy that he's joining us. And he is going to join us in less than a second. I managed to get through. Yay! Okay. Yay, Luke, where were you?
Hi Shilpa, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? And my husband's making a sharp exit.
Very well, very well.
Yeah, then there was something wrong
Say
with
hi
our
to
network.
Raj.
We couldn't get in touch with you.
Yeah, I think it's a
Yeah.
bit slow my side. It's the Goa network, but let's see how we can do with this.
Yeah. Relax like the people. No, so I was just telling our audiences who have joined in for this very interesting chat. I am really excited, Luke, because for me, I don't look at you as someone who's obviously really talented, very blessed, and very knowledgeable. You excel in the field of nutrition. But other than that, what I love about you is your sheer positivity, the fact that you're so real, and you are a very dear friend of mine. So I'm so happy that we were able to make this happen. And well, I have to tell you guys, Luke used to be able to speak to me far more than he's able to now because he is inundated with work, and actually now people can't get in touch with him. So now I feel I have to start opening it. I have to open an agency now, Luke, because there are so many requests that happen via me. They call me and they're like, okay, can you please get me in touch with Luke, please? You know, I'm not getting an appointment. Luke, what are you doing? So it's really, it speaks volumes about you. People
Thank
trust
you.
you, and especially in the line of cancer management and cancer treatment. Um, I know we're dealing with a really unprecedented virus in time. Connection between gut health and immunity is correlated. So tell us or give us tips on how to maintain gut health. I've lost you there. Oh no. Luke. Luke has frozen. Luke! I wish I could go to Goa. And the call has dropped. And he's going to join us again. Just a second. Oh my god. Adding Luke Coutinho again. Sorry guys, these are things that aren't in my hand. So yeah.
Hi, I'm
My
back.
husband
Sorry
is
about
back.
that.
You're
Yeah.
back.
Hi,
And so is my
Raj. How are you,
husband.
Raj?
He knows I'm terrible at these things, so he's rushed back because he's obviously watching us from the other room. No, but also,
Sorry, yeah.
Luke, I have to thank you, even if it means with this being privy by all these people. Well, I managed to get him on track with his working out, but his diet. So you know, when people are sitting at home, you tend to get a little lazy and lackadaisical, and you have to have the right diet that kind of balances
Right.
it out. And when you use the word diet, it doesn't mean that you have to go devoid a
Correct.
certain
Yeah.
thing that you like. You have to just balance it. But I think what has really worked for Raj is intermittent, and you have been
Intermittent
guiding him,
fasting.
yeah, on it. So he's done it 7 days in a row, and I can really see great results. So you've written about it. You've just come out with your book. Tell us about it. How does it work? What's the magic?
So it's simple. I think everyone is eating way too much and at different timings every day. Like Shilpa, I remember you had that discipline, and I think you still have it, of eating your dinner before sunset. You eat early
Yeah.
dinners and you don't eat anything after that. That's exactly what it is. You need to leave a gap between your dinner and your next meal. So anywhere between 12, depending, is fantastic. That's good enough. And that's exactly what Raj is doing. But a lot of people push themselves into fasting.
So
They
14 is
start drinking.
okay. You don't have to push it to
Absolutely.
16.
Not necessary. Not necessary at all. You know, when your body tells you to break the fast, it's physically hungry, you break the fast because your body's done its job. And I think Raj is doing it pretty well. He keeps messaging me, 16 hours, 15 hours, and it's perfectly well. Listen to your body. And that's how fasting has to be. It is therapeutic. It is therapeutic for health.
Yes. Also, give us tips on while I know this is your area of expertise and we're talking about nutrition. Um, we got cut off when we were discussing gut health and how important it is to look after your gut in times like this, because we want our immunity to be at its best, and how
Correct.
gut health is actually directly related to our immunity. So talk about that,
Right.
Luke, and give us some simple pointers on how to maintain it.
Sure, Shilpa. So the gut is everything. It's your second brain. In anatomy, it's called your second brain. So it's connected with your immune system and also your feelings. We've had so many patients who have come to us with depression, and all we've done is fix their gut because they had really bad gut health, bloating, acidity, and then their traits of depression actually disappear. For a lot of people who are depressed, because your gut has an impact on your mind, how you feel, your serotonin, your dopamine. So if you have really bad gut health, you may not be depressed, but you have the feeling of being depressed. And then you could actually be treated the wrong way. So when it comes to your gut, at least 75% of your immune system starts in your gut. So we need to invest in that. Some of the simplest things is, number one, cut out sugar. People keep Googling what are the best foods for the gut, but we need to take away the things which are bad for the gut. So number one is white sugar. We have to cut that down. You can eat organic berries all through the day, but if you have too much of sugar, your bad bacteria is going to be more than the good bacteria. So we need to cut down sugar for sure. You know, if we really want something sweet, we can move to a good raw honey. We can move to maybe stevia, a little bit of jaggery, but it has to be in balance. Number two are your prebiotics and your probiotics. Examples of prebiotics are your garlic, your onion, all of this, apple cider vinegar. These are great prebiotics. And probiotics are your yogurts, your curds, certain pickles, which are made the right way, your kimchis. All of these are fantastic probiotics. And in India, especially South India, we have rice kanji, where you take the leftover rice, soak it overnight in water, and in the morning you drink that water and eat the rice. By far, that is one of the most powerful probiotics we have seen work with people. So I think with gut health, we can't overeat. If we overeat, we're putting too much of acids and the digestion becomes very complicated. If we're constipated, we need to sort out constipation. Otherwise, that in turn has an adverse effect on the gut. So I think symptoms that people need to look out for is acidity, constant burping, bloating all the time, you know, flatulence, too much of gas, too much of flatulence and constipation. And sometimes you look at your tongue and it's yellow at the back, thick white, that means your gut isn't too good.
And I found my new poison now. I'm having my CCFT, and you can explain to people what it's. Yeah, it's cumin, coriander, roasted, and fennel seeds. So it's
that's a great combination.
Yeah, it's fantastic, and it really works for me because I am governed by Vata dosh. So I have the tendency of getting a little acidic. So this is something I sip on it religiously. And you know, in times like this, while we are, you know, obviously combating with a virus that can't survive in hot conditions, and I'm talking about even hot conditions in your body. So you have to obviously constantly feed yourself with hot water, just as a preventive measure. So this is something I keep sipping on all the time. And it's really helped with my acidity. And I'm not as acidic anymore, but back in the day I used to be. So, so for all those people who think that, you know, oh, it all looks great. No, we all have issues. We're all human. We're all fallible. And it's wonderful to know that nothing in life is impossible to deal with. There are always, it's not rocket science. And nutrition is one of those things that if you get it right, you can lead a very healthy and happy life. So if you're happy from within, it will, you know, it will reflect on the outward. And that's exactly why we have Luke with us, who's going to help us.
Shilpa, I have a question for you. How come from the time I've met you, we've traveled together, all of that stuff, I've never seen you stressed out. I've never seen you tensed. I've never seen you sad. Even when, you know, there were like, you know, you had acidity or whatever it is. I've never seen you stressed. So I really want to know that because you have a busy life, you have a family, you're a hands-on mom. I know that. I know that you do everything for your kids. A lot of people out there assume that the rich people and, you know, a lot of people in Bollywood have nannies for their kids and actors, you know, and all of that stuff. But I've seen you with Vian. I've seen you right through your hands-on. I also remember we were late for our flight back from Qatar to Bombay. We had an event and like they would literally close the gates and you were just smiling and laughing and you were not tense. And I was like so worried that we're going to miss the flight. What is your secret? How are you happy all the time? And genuinely, people who are watching this, I've been with Shilpa and genuinely, it's not a face that she puts on. She's never stressed out. So now you need to tell us what you do because I'm constantly telling people to meditate and breathe and do all of that stuff. You tell us what you do, Shilpa.
You know, I really think that, I really think I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. I do get depressed. I do get worried when I see the news, when I see, you know, I was going through these articles and it really broke my heart to see people traveling bare feet and, you know, they had calluses on their feet and pregnant women walking all the way home. These things, it's other people's problems that actually depress me. We all have our fair share of problems, Luke, and it's not true that I do not get upset and I don't get angry. Maybe it is also the energy that I get from you. You're such a happy, positive person, and you exude
Not all
that.
the
So
time.
that's,
So I guess you're right. Not all the
we
time.
all have our fair share of
Yeah.
problems. Um, and we all combat it in our own ways possible. But I think whenever I'm sad or depressed, I I go with the flow. So I live in the moment and I don't hold on to it. So for all those people who are listening to us, it is perfectly normal to feel sad and depressed and feel anxiety and feel anger. I go through all those emotions. I'd be inhuman if I didn't. If I didn't. But when I go through those emotions, those negative emotions, or those gray areas, I just think about stuff that I have gratitude for, and then I tide over it. So that's the method to my madness, and we all have our
Right.
ways of doing it. Some people say that you should walk through a doorway. That helps you combat stress. I mean, these are all weird things.
Right.
So stress, the thing is, the more you feed your stress, they become those big monsters, and then they start feeding off you, and then they eat you
Correct.
up one day. So you'd rather
Absolutely.
not pay too much attention. So someone has asked us, what is this CCFT? Guys, it's not rocket science. It's just jeera, it's dhania, akkha jeera, and akkha sauf. So you just take it and you roast it a bit. And what I do is I put it in a glass bottle, and I just take a teaspoon and a half, put it into two and a half glasses of water. उसको हम boil करते हैं for around a good 15 minutes, and that's it. It's a green color, light green color tea that happens, and it's like green tea. So you just put it in a thermos and you store it, and you can keep having it. Now I'm speaking like you.
Super.
No, but you, more
Yeah.
importantly, I really, in between, the Bollywood industry lost two great
Right.
actors and human beings. We lost Irfan sir and Rishi ji. And honestly, I think I reached my lowest ebb then. And I know of a lot of people who did feel very low also in the industry, maybe because we knew them as well personally. But there are a lot of people who are maybe suffering with issues, and they all felt like, oh, this could happen to me as well. And,
Yeah.
life is so unpredictable, and you do go through those feelings of anxiety. So what do you suggest for people out there who are feeling depression, because food again is interrelated, correlated with depression?
Absolutely. So I think, when people see this happening, I mean, there's a lot of death happening in our world every single day. But these are people, they've related to them in movies, they've been part of their childhood, their lives, and everything else. We have to understand there are two ways. Of course, our prayers should go out to their families, number one, because we have to give back that energy. And then number two, it should help us to focus on what we have. Right now, we are blessed because we have our life. We have people around us who have their life. So sometimes we have to learn from these things that have happened. It's unfortunate. Like I say, it can happen to anyone. If it's your destiny, it is going to happen to anyone, no matter who you are, what your designation is, what bank balance we have. It doesn't matter. But from then this is what we want people to learn from in life, that you have to live in the moment. You have to be grateful for what you have right now, because when it's lost, it's lost. And it's unfortunate that we have to learn these lessons as reminders from two veterans who have passed away recently. But I think constantly, you're big on gratitude. You don't go to bed without practicing gratitude. That's what you told me every single day. It's part of your life. It's part of my life. That's what makes us realize what we have. But when we lose it, there's too much of regret and too much of grief. So when it comes to food, I think, the cleaner we eat, the better we are. That's why spirituality teaches us to. So I think it's
Oh,
extremely
something happened
important
there.
for us. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's extremely important for us to learn from, life is constantly teaching us how to live. But now, hopefully, we remember them for a long time. But most people will get back to their lives, get back to poor lifestyles, not looking after
Oh, I hope
themselves.
not. I
That
really
usually
hope not.
happens.
I
Yeah.
really hope
So,
not. I hope we learn and take a leaf from this, and this time shouldn't go to waste. So Tell us,
Absolutely.
give us maybe some tips, Luke, on how to take precautionary measures, not just now, but even in the future. Because I really believe that, even even in terms of etiquette, I think it's an important topic to broach while we're talking about masks and gloves now. But I've always noticed if there's someone who's down with a flu, earlier, or someone has a bad cough and is traveling on a flight, they never ever wear a mask. They
Yeah.
don't take care, and they really don't care about the other person. I think
Right.
we need to be aware that these are things that we need to take care for other people, and
Right.
we it's not about just the coronavirus, even a simple flu. Why
Correct.
can't we
Absolutely.
think about other people as well? So this habit should continue. We should start maintaining cleanliness. We should wear a mask if we are ill. You don't want to spread the germs. So that is
Right.
something that I
Yeah.
think that I have taken. And also the fact being that I live on the beach. I've said this before.
Right.
Now when I open the window and I see the beach, it's so clean, Lou. It used to be so dirty. And
Yeah.
it makes me want to cry because if, I mean, after this lockdown is over and done with and we tide through this time, I hope we don't get back to square one,
Yeah.
because I hope people are a little more responsible. I know we've digressed away from food and nutrition, but I really feel that while we are maintaining cleanliness within us,
Yeah.
we have to maintain it even around us,
No,
and
Shilpa,
that's
you're
also
apt. I
very
mean,
important.
what you're saying has everything to do with health. People think it's all nutrition and exercise. No, but it's also your area. Now, a lot of my asthmatic children, my lung cancer patients, my COPD, lung issue patients are doing way better because the air is cleaner. So it is important. What you're talking about is very important for our health. It's not just nutrition and exercise. And if we don't learn from this and we go back to that life, I think nature is going to come down on us very, very harshly and very strongly if we don't learn from this. Because, you don't just need medicine or food to improve someone's lungs. The first thing you need is clean air. So if you don't have clean air, your medicine and nutrition is secondary. It's not going to do what nature is supposed to do for us. So like you, I'm hoping that people really take this seriously. And like you said, everyone has to start practicing themselves. Now, tomorrow we take masks and we go out, but someone in public just sneezes outside without a mask. It's like we've lost the whole
Exactly.
game. We've lost the lesson. So they should make it mandatory. That's a good thing that they'll make it mandatory
They
and stuff,
should. They should.
so yeah.
And I feel in other countries they actually, they are cognizant about the fact that okay, we are down with the flu, so we don't want to spread it. But in our country,
Absolutely.
I feel
Yeah.
somewhere that takes a back seat. So I hope
Yeah.
that continues. And let's talk about, maybe we've got very little time. Considering your bad network, we will still continue.
We'll continue. We'll go on. Yeah.
um, Give us maybe some easy concoctions, Luke. I know you're really fab with these things. And what can we do? What can we make quickly in terms of with things that are readily available to maybe
Right.
strengthen our immunity, or maybe some feel good kind of medicine
Right. Okay. Cool.
that is
So
food.
yeah. So I'm going to give the concoction. You're going to give it the feel good factor. So it works as a placebo. People will drink it and feel good. That's how we're going to do it. Okay. So the simplest thing is we can't go wrong with ginger, a one inch piece of ginger mashed with 2 cloves of garlic. Okay. We boil this in water, add a little bit of cinnamon, little bit of dalchini, cinnamon, and then we pour it in a mug and sprinkle a little bit of lemon juice. This is by far one of the most powerful immune boosters. Now, if someone is Jain and they can't have ginger and they can't have garlic, that's not a problem.
Good point.
They can do a concoction of fennel seeds, which is soft, exactly what you have. Cumin, the jeera, soft, ajwain, and what they can add to it is a little bit of turmeric. And they boil this concoction, they cool it, and then they add a little bit of lemon juice. By far,
Yeah.
these are the two most powerful concoctions which we've used way before the lockdown for people with influenza, virals, colds, and coughs. Turmeric is excellent, Shilpa, as you know. Even having a little bit of
I
turmeric,
swear by
a
it.
pinch of black pepper, and a little bit of ghee or coconut oil in the morning to
Every
absorb it.
morning.
That is fantastic for immunity. So
And
these are the
every morning.
simplest concoctions.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are
Yes.
things
And
people can make easily.
I swear by it, Luke. I mean, I know you and I, we are people who don't just preach it, we also practice it. And for
Practice
all
it.
those people
Yeah.
who are listening to us and who want to follow us, we want to tell you that it's made a world of a difference to our lives, you know, and that's the
Right.
reason we're here and we're sitting and we're talking to you. That if you really want help, you have to help yourself. You know, we can give
Yeah.
you tips, but if you are not going to, uh,
Absolutely.
you know, take it in your hands and have the willpower and make that lifestyle modification, no one is going to be able to help you. But
Right.
talking a little more about you, Luke, tell us, are you enjoying this time now in Goa?
I'm loving this time. I mean, we're
How
all
on earth
stressed
did you
out.
know? How on earth did you know that Goa was going to be the only place that was not going to get affected?
So I'll be honest about you. About 4 days before the lockdown, I was at Reset. I was consulting with a patient. And believe me, I always believe in a higher power. I don't want to give it a name. I don't want to give it religion. But I was in between a consult, Shilpa. And I got this gut feeling that, hey, finish this consult, shut down Reset, go back home, take your family and move back to Goa where my parents live. And it all happened in a few hours. By evening, I was home. My partner and I decided to shut down Reset, send everyone home. I was on an early morning flight the next day and I reached Goa. It was gut instinct. It was gut instinct. I believe in grace. I really believe in grace. And we just got on the flight. We said, if it's not, we'll come back to Bombay. It's the simplest thing. So I ended up in Goa there. I'm loving it. I mean, everyone has stress. But like you said, I believe that fear and anxiety is a wasted emotion. It's a wasted emotion. It can't change anything. But what you can do is let the emotion motivate you to do something, learn something, make a new business stream, write a book. There's so much you can do. So I usually transform energy from fear and anxiety into something that I can do. And that's why, honestly, I'm not stressed. My heart goes out to everyone out there who's suffering, migrant workers, all of this stuff. It goes out. But at the end of the day, I feel calm, I feel cool, and I feel that, whatever's happening, like what you demonstrated about your stress is the power of acceptance. I've accepted it. There's nothing else you can do. There's no point not
What cannot
accepting
be
the
cured has
situation
to
we're
be
in.
endured.
Exactly. And
That's
acceptance
my
helps us to
mantra.
get on.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So that's about
Yeah.
it. Shilpa, I need to ask you one quick question, Shilpa.
What?
Okay. So a lot of parents, a lot of moms out there. Now, I know you to be a hands-on mom, no matter your status, what you have and stuff like that. You're hands-on with your kids. What are your tips to moms? Because a lot of moms are getting frustrated at home because they're in a situation where their children are with them throughout the day. Usually 5 to 6 hours at school, so they have their breaks, they can go out to coffee shops and all of that
Yeah.
stuff. But a lot of them are getting completely stressed out about being at home. So you're a mom, you would be able to relate better. So could you answer that question, please?
You know, each to their own, and
Yeah.
we all are in different situations, and I'm very blessed. I have to give credit where where it's due. I have a husband who's also very hands-on. So Raj is a great father. So we kind of decided that we were going to divide the chores. And obviously, Samisha needs me much more right now because she's going to complete 3 months. So all the feeds, and it's a lot of late nights and all of that. But Raj actually looks after all of Vian's virtual lessons, and I really feel that if the men are watching us, they need to help out. Why is it taken for granted that only the mother should be looking after the kids? I'm
Agreed.
sorry, you are 50% responsible too. So you have to take up that responsibility. Um, this is a great time, but it can also be extremely daunting, and especially for people who have more than 3 kids. And if you've got children who are doing virtual classes online, it's even more difficult because imagine if you have one who's 5, one who's 7, and one who's 10. How are you to divide the time? You know. But I just feel that quality time has to be emphasized on as well. While you want your child to also, um, understand that there are certain things that they have to learn on their own. You basically tell them, you kind of jot down the kind of things that you want to do with them. You kind of divide that time. So mornings are with my husband, and evenings he spends time with me, and that's how we do it. And we bake together. We build pillow forts. We play carom. We play Monopoly. So do stuff that, the kids enjoy as well. And yeah. And then there is some time that you have to let them be on their own as well. So that's how we do it. And yeah, I've got help, thankfully, because I work very erratic timings when I'm working on set. But when I'm at home, I'm very hands-on, and I can't express my gratitude for all the time I have now with my kids. So just value this time, guys, and life is so unpredictable. So just make the best.